Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I wanted to come on here and do a little wine tasting. We're going to taste an interesting wine today. We're going to taste an Ohio wine. But before I get to that, I want to mention a couple of things. I created a new YouTube channel for the wine podcasts. I will still do the podcasts on here on the Facebook page. This will be the primary location for my podcasts. And once they're done here on Facebook, Wayne's World of Wine, then I'll upload them to the YouTube channel. I don't want to do them directly on the YouTube channel first and then download them to here. I like the interaction with the core group of people. We have 94 followers here on the Facebook page, and I actually picked up 3 new followers today. So once I created the YouTube channel, I noticed that I had a conflict because I had a YouTube channel for my Marietta ukulele playing, and they were both under different email addresses, but they were both getting confused with each other. So eventually, I deleted the entire Marietta Uke YouTube channel and only left the wine YouTube channel. So that one, I just started it today. I already got 15 subscribers to it, which is absolutely fantastic. So the goal, of course, is I will do the podcast on here for my close friends and followers on Facebook. And then I'll upload the YouTube podcast, I'll upload the podcast to the YouTube channel and maybe reach out and get that's the wrong word, a larger audience of people who might want to listen to the podcast. So this will be the primary place. This will not change. I have a lot of little notes that I've been making. I'm going to do some podcasts that are non-wine tasting from time to time. But tonight we're going to, before I forget, and I already made a Facebook post on this, I do a lot of tastings of wines that come in from my wine club that some of those are going to be available in the supermarkets. A lot of them are not going to be available in the supermarkets. So I'll still do those wines because of the grape varietals. But I went shopping today and I picked up a couple of supermarket wines. One was a Sauvignon Blanc Semillon blend, and the other was a dry Riesling. Both of those were available at Giant Eagle, and I also was in Kroger today and I checked Kroger, and both of them are available at Kroger. So when I do the wine tastings for those in the very near future, you probably will not have any difficulty finding those wines. All right, we're going to do a tasting today for an Ohio wine. I generally do not like Ohio wines because 90% of Ohio wines are sweet wines. I'm not a sweet wine drinker, as you know. This is a bottle of Ohio wine from what is called Old Schoolhouse Winery, and it's in northwestern Ohio. It's in an old schoolhouse winery. It's in a little village south of Dayton called Eaton, Ohio. Now, I did some research because I didn't know what Aromella was. The bottle doesn't have a vintage on it, so it's a non-vintage wine. And as you know, a non-vintage wine could be a combination of 1 or 2 or even more years of crushed grapes turned into wine that they blend together, and so it's become a non-blend. So I wasn't even sure what type of grape Aromella was, so I read about it, and I'm going to read some notes here. Aromella grape is similar to the German grape that's made into the Gewürztraminer wine. Gewürztraminer is a German wine, generally, and I've had it a few times. I have none in the cellar right now. It's generally a sweet wine, a little bit sweeter, not necessarily real sweet, but it's sweeter than most dry wines. So the Aromella grape is it's very similar to the Gewürztraminer in the way that it vinifies. It's an off-dry. The Aromella grape is off-dry generally with a hint of sweetness. So that in itself makes this one going to be a little interesting because again, I'm not a sweet wine drinker. I'm a dry wine drinker, but supposedly this Aromella will be off-dry with just a very slight hint of sweetness. The other thing I read that the vinicultural labs up at Cornell University in upstate New York is constantly working on hybrid grape varietals. A lot of the varieties that you see in the New York, Finger Lakes, Ohio, Pennsylvania, those are all hybrids that were cultivated and developed through crossbreeding at the Cornell University. This hybrid was created very recently, like within the last 4 to 5 years at the Cornell University laboratory. It was created to be a white wine similar to Gewürztraminer, but it's a very hardy winter wine, and that would be necessary for surviving in these cold climates in the upper Midwest area of the country. I think with that, I'm just going to go right into the tasting. Now, I've already shown you the bottle. I poured a glass, and holding it up to the light, the body is very thick. This appears to be a very well-made wine with substantial alcohol in it, which, by the way, I don't even know what the alcohol content is on this. That doesn't even show up on the wine label. But it's got good body, good viscosity. Viscosity is the term that we use to see the rivulets or the legs that you see on the side of a glass when you swirl it around or move it a little bit. I don't think I've used that term, but it's probably the most common term, and you should become familiar with it. It's called the viscosity. You know, we know the term viscosity from oil in your car. Is it a 10 weight, 30 weight, 10W30, 40 weight? Those are all called viscosities. Those are the weight of the oil. So when you talk about viscosity in wine, you're talking about how, not really thick the wine is, but maybe you could say how thick, but not thickness as far as thickness of oil. Okay, so the viscosity is good. There are plenty of ample legs on this. The color is kind of a washed out straw color, kind of a pale yellow, perhaps. It's kind of a non-exciting color for a white wine. All right, let's see what we get on the aromas. I haven't even tried it, so I have no idea what the bouquet is going to smell like on the nose. It's a floral. I did a wine yesterday or the day before that was very floral. This is not that floral, but it is flowery. But I think there's some citrus notes in this in the nose on this. You know, the more I sniff this, the more I'm thinking it's not floral. It's more citrusy. I guess I might say that has somewhat of a lemon scent to it, but it's not a bright, solid, deep lemon scent like you do get citrusy with Sauvignon Blancs and wines. I'm having a difficult time trying to describe the nose on this Aromella. Yeah, I would have to say that it is kind of lemony with maybe honeysuckle. Honeysuckle just kind of jumped right out there all of a sudden. You know, I have honeysuckle. I remember picking honeysuckle when I was a kid in Ohio. And I have a lot of honeysuckle on my property now. And I smell it at certain times of the year. I think I've already smelled it in the spring here. Yep. I think this is more of a honeysuckle aroma than anything else. Let's see what we get here on the taste. People, I don't know if I can describe the taste of this. I will say that as I brought it up to my mouth, before the wine entered my mouth, I didn't get the honeysuckle aroma. I got a floral aroma, a very strong uh, tropical flower aroma, not the honeysuckle. But when I sniff it, I'm getting honeysuckle. But when I brought it up to my mouth to drink it, and the aroma hit me in the nose, it was a different aroma. It was a tropical flower aroma. Well, you know what's interesting? Now I'm smelling it. I'm not picking up the honeysuckle. I'm picking up more of a tropical flower, which I'm going to give you a kind of a, I'm going to have to taste this a couple of more times, but I'm going to give you a preliminary tasting of tasting like tropical flowers. Yeah, the aroma has really gone from honeysuckle to tropical flowers. Do you remember as a child and you pick a honeysuckle flower and you pull the pistil out of the flower and you get that one drop of dew or juice or whatever you want to call it, and you taste it and how sweet it was? This is a dry, and I want to emphasize, a dry white wine that has that exact taste of that one drop of honeysuckle juice. So I think the best way to describe this is it tastes like honeysuckle. But honeysuckle is uber sweet, very, very sweet, obviously, honeysuckle is. This is not so sweet. I guess maybe a professional might say that it is slightly sweet. I don't like sweet wines. I don't find this sweet. I will go with the term that it's off dry, but I don't feel like it has sweetness to it. But yet I'm going to argue with myself when I say that it tastes like honeysuckle. Honeysuckle, of course, is sweet. This is a puzzling wine. It's a good wine. It's a very nice wine. I would not have any problems drinking this again. I looked it up, and it looks like it sells for about $17 at the winery and at wine stores throughout the Ohio region. So it's not a bad wine. Well, then I would have to ask, what do you want to pair this wine with, food-wise? Well, it would go good with fish tacos. It would go good with baked fish. I think it would actually go good with baked chicken with no sauce. It would probably do well with a white pasta. I'm sorry, a pasta with a white sauce. For example, maybe an Alfredo sauce, or even I mentioned yesterday a pasta that I like eating cold, that's mixed with maybe a fried pork chop with no sauce or no any flavoring or anything other than salt and pepper. You might get by with that, but this is not something that I think I would have with, certainly not with the red meat. This is more of a fish. All right. Well, I lost the signal there, and I'm not sure how long I lost it, but I am back, and I was talking about pairing. Just about finished with this video as it is, or podcast. So I would say that you would want to pair this with fish, white or pasta with white sauces and things of that nature. It's a good wine. I would drink it again. This particular bottle of wine was gifted to me. It was given to me at the camping trip last weekend in Terre Haute, Indiana, and the person who gifted it to me had stopped at the winery and purchased it. I think I may have told you I was gifted 8 bottles of wine. 8 bottles of wine I was given at the Runaway Camper in Terre Haute, Indiana. Well, listen, thank you all very much for chipping in or listening in, and I hope losing the signal didn't mess too many people up. And again, I will upload this to the YouTube channel, and I do want to make a shout out to Chelsea for posting the link for my YouTube channel, and that made it easier for some of the other people to see it. And as I said a few minutes ago, it's only been up for a couple of hours, and I already have 15 subscribers. Most people have not listened to the YouTubes or watched the YouTubes because the ones I've uploaded you've already seen if you've been following me on the Facebook page. So this will be the first of the brand new YouTubes that I've uploaded to my YouTube channel. Well, listen, thank you all very much. I'm struggling with a connection here, even though I have the Starlink. There are storms in the area, and I think that that's affecting the signal a little bit. Well, listen, everyone take care, and I will try to do a podcast tomorrow night. But let me just tell you that I have several, I think 2, maybe 3 bottles of wine that I have a little bit in the bottom of each one. So I may take a night off tomorrow and just drink a little bit of everything for my own personal use rather than letting those wines get too old. Well, listen, take care, and I'll see you the next time. Thanks very much. Bye.